All these pieces are the same width of 2.5 inches, I believe. Yeah, 2.5. So I'm going to gang plane them to get rid of the saw marks because I'm going to be painting this project. Not something I'm looking forward to, but that's what's going to be happen. So they're all just a hair thicker, about a 1/16 of an inch, I believe. So I'm going to just try and skim as little as possible off of these, and they may end up 2.5, or they may end up a little bit less. So let's see where I'm at here. I'm going to try this first. And yeah, we're good to go. There's the 8 legs, cut at 8 degrees. And in my plan, let me make sure. There's the legs. They're cut at 8 degrees, and you saw me just sliding it up because these angles need to be parallel. So 8 degrees on the bottom. And in my plan, it called for 30 3/4, but I ended up at 31. So I'm just going to run with it. And then we'll attach the seat and the other parts together to get this thing framed up. You notice I took one piece out of the rotation there. It had some bark in it, but I'll put that on as a brace for one of the bottom boxes rather than have it be a leg. So I got those ready to go. So 2.5, 31, 8 degree miter cut. Okay, so the next piece I just finished cutting was the, I'll call them the stretchers, I guess, that go from front to back. And if this is the back leg, the one piece is cut at 8 degrees to match this angle. So I cut those first before changing my my saw blade back to 90. So I've got that to match, and then this part extends out past to hold the step. So that's how that's going to go. The dimension of these is again 2.5, and they're 25 inches from long point to 90. So this long edge is 25 inches long. So I've got those 4 cut and ready to go. The next one that I'm going to cut is the rail, I guess, between these two pieces, and that's 90-degree cut. And those are 22 inches long at 90. So I'll get those sized, and then we can think about maybe putting some of this stuff together. We'll see what happens here. So those are the critical dimensions so far. All right, I hope this explanation makes sense. I've got this jig set up to establish the relationship between my pieces. This being the bottom cross member, going this way, and I wanted that to be 3.5 inches up. I believe that's what it ended up being, or 3.25. Let me double check here for you. 3.25. So the bottom piece that holds the step or the footrest is 3.25 inches from the bottom, or from the ground, I guess, to the bottom of that piece. So once I had that established, this 8-degree cut marries up with the 8-degree pitch of the legs, and then this piece is running parallel to the ground. I established these lines here by using 3-2-1 blocks and a small straight edge. I had another one in here like so. No, I didn't either. Anyway, I established the straight edge here off of this 3-2-1 block. Just kind of lightly touch it, and that gave me this line. Did the same thing on this side. Got both lines, and then established center using the center scale here. About 1.25 inches, something like that. Yeah, 1.25 inches. I guess I went this way like that. And then this line is just, this line was established this way. This line up and down was established with this, going this way, off the straight edge. Then the center line was made using my center rule. Okay, so I established those points, and that's where I'm going to drill my holes for my carriage bolts. And then once I have these drilled, I'll just use them as templates to mark my legs. Now the same thing was done up here. This dimension for the piece that holds the seat slats is 17.25 from the bottom to that, to the bottom of this shaped piece, this oddly shaped piece. Okay, so this corner lines up with the outside edge, and this hangs over. Not a big deal because it's going to be covered by another piece. All right, so now that I got that established, I did the same thing to establish my line here and here, over here as well. Found center, and I'll use this as a template to make marks for these holes. So I'm going to drill these out, these two pieces. Actually, I'll drill all of them, but once I get it set up for one piece, I'll be set up for all of them. And then I can come back and mark the legs. And I'll keep them together as pairs or quads, 2 legs, 2 of these. Now the other thing that I was able to work out or get an idea of was these pieces holding or making the frame for the bottom. I've got to have room to get a nut and a washer in here. Same over here, but this one will be okay because it's going to be out here supporting the step as well, or the footrest. So I'll have that one out there like that, something like that. But I'll take care of those later. What I'm going to do with these is use dominoes and glue and put those together that way. So I'm going to take this to the drill press, get things set up, make my holes, come back here, reestablish the relationship, and then make marks, and then go back and drill the legs. Alright, now this setup jig took me a while to figure this one out, but it's basically just a straight edge. These are my drops, 8-degree drops from a couple of the longer legs. And then I had to make a couple 8-degree cuts to wedge it. I've got, you know, reference plate pieces out here. This one being the one that I'm making my first reference off. This one is really solid, doesn't move. That one doesn't either really, but when I put the next set of legs in, I'll know that I've established the same relationship as these two, and then so they'll become pairs of legs, and hopefully everything will line up. Okay, here we go. I got all the holes drilled, and when I came back here to establish that these end up in the same spot, I added another piece here to register this board. Same brad point bit that I used at the drill press. I'm just gonna, and I made sure that I'm flush here with using this 3-2-1 block. So this will be this location. And this will be this one. Okay, got good marks. Now the other thing that I need to remember is when I go to put these together, I'll drill the holes, but two have to be they have to be left and rights. So this will be mounted on this side of the legs, and then 2 of the others will be mounted on the other side. I can do that, it's no problem because I'm using bolts, but when I go to put the bolts and glue together, they got to be mirror images of each other. So I'll do, let's see how I'm going to do this. I want to be able to establish that the same length as well. See if I can figure out something for that top piece. I'll be right back. Alright, I got the next one situated. I've got a 3-2-1 block with a straight edge, and because these are 1 inch thick, that's suspended above this, and I need to do that so I can slide these in and out. I'm going to have to do this one by feel. I'm going to have to just gauge. I suppose I can make a pencil mark, but I still want to feel this corner to make sure it's just flush. Right about right there. In this corner. ballpark it. Alright, so I'll mark these. One set down, or marked anyway. Make sure that this is going back in the same spot it is. So I'll disassemble this setup, bring the next set in, and just repeat this process 3 more times. Drill those holes and then come back and look to maybe put these frames together. This worked out really slick. I am very happy with this. It's nice and snug. I just want to show you how these go in and out of here. We'll just push those up like that. Get this out of the way. So bring in the first one. Make room for it. Slide these over. Bring in the second one. And it's just snug. Really nice. Worked out great. So I know that these things are going to be as close as I can humanly get them. I used that mark that I made to line up this one. This piece, you know, is lined up on the edge. Made my marks and I'm all set to go to drill these out. Well, this is when you swallow hard when you've made a mistake. I ordered the wrong bolts. They should be 2-inch. I ordered 1 3/4. I don't know what I was thinking. 1.5 inch material plus a 1/4 inch through, but with the washer, this nylock does not engage. So I'm going to have to establish rights and lefts, and then I'm going to have to countersink these washers about 1/8 inch on all of them to make this work. It's a lot more work. I could just order more bolts, but I don't remember how much it cost me. I'd have to look here. I don't think I have it on this invoice. Maybe I do. Yeah, this is just a packing slip. I think it would be about another $50, you know. But don't make that mistake if you decide to do these. Make sure you get 2-inch bolts. They look nice. They work. But I got to get that nylock engaged. Otherwise, those things will eventually just fall off. So I'm going to go about 1/8 inch deep with these countersinks. Then I should be okay. Before, after. This is just starting to stick proud of the lock nut, which is terrific. I ended up going about 3/16 of an inch deep instead of 1/8, but it turned out just perfect. After ordering the wrong bolt. So anyway, I like that. It looks good. It's not protruding, you know, causing a, I don't know how to say it, but it looks professional. So able to make a good situation out of a bad order, I guess. I'll get the rest of them done, and then we'll see what things are going to look like here.